Hello, you join me here today in the village of Tongwynlais, which is just on the northern edge of Cardiff. I'm here today to meet Phil Lloyd, who is the minister at Ainon Baptist Church.
I've been associated with Ainon Baptist Church for quite some time, since the early 2000s. They would invite me to preach occasionally, a couple of times a year, and so I got to know the church very well. And over the course of time, my wife and I felt led to be a part of the community here in the church, and we became members in 2018. Shortly after that, there was a position of pastor that became available. And the church, after much prayer, decided to call me into the pastorate. And so I've been a pastor now in Ainon since July 2019.
Fantastic. And we're meeting at the minute in the Lewis Arms, just not very far from the church. Now, I believe this has some historical connection with the church.
It certainly does. I can assure you this is not my regular office, but in 1827 the great Welsh revivalist preacher Christmas Evans, who was pastoring in Caerphilly at the time in Tongwynlais Baptist Church, rode his horse over the mountain and conducted services in this very building. And so over a period of time, Ainon Baptist Church was born in the Lewis Arms. And there's actually a plaque and a picture on the wall of the pub to commemorate that. And so it's quite an unusual beginning for any Baptist church, but it's quite a fascinating story and quite a rich heritage that the church has.
So Phil, we're outside the church now. You've told us a little bit about the beginnings of the church. What's the recent history been?
Well, as with any church approaching 200 years of faithful witness in a community, there's been ups and there's been downs. And Ainon has had much blessing, much revival, but also times of really knowing what it is to struggle. And certainly a period of time towards the end of the 21st century, 1998, 1999, numbers had dwindled, and really there were very few people left in the church, and it was looking as if it wouldn't continue. But there was a link and a conversation begun with Rabina Baptist Church just a few miles down the road, and from that money was invested in Ainon by Rabina. The building was repaired and refurbished, and a small congregation of about 20 or so moved from Rabina to actually start worshipping here in Ainon. So it was a replanting, if you like, of the faithful witness of Ainon in early 2000. And so from that, and over time, over the last 20 years or so, we've had steady growth, and we now enjoy about 80 or 100 people regularly on a Sunday worshipping here, which is a testament, I think, to the faithfulness of God's people and the faithfulness of the church in supporting one another.
Now, as we were looking outside and as we've come inside, it's clear there's a lot of building work going on at the minute. What does the future of the church hold? What are you looking for in the coming months and years?
Well, Ainon for the last several years has had a call to be salt and light. And that involves reaching out into the community. And certainly 2 years ago, we felt the Lord prompting us to reach out. And the vision that the Lord imparted to us was that we are to be a community hub, that we are to engage with the community, to reach out and to provide for the community. It's about serving the poor, meeting the needs of those that are struggling, and a wide variety of things that will help the community in Tongwynlais. And so the building project that we're currently embarking upon is to create a community hub. It'll be more meeting rooms, bigger space, better toilets and kitchen, and just enabling us to do more than one thing at one time. So we won't be restricted by space, and we'll be able to invite partners and people in the church community to minister and to reach out. The things we have in mind are to be a food bank centre, to be a clothes bank centre, to offer help for the unemployed and do job clubs, to help people with money and debt advice, to run lunch clubs for the older people, toddlers groups, a Renew Wellbeing centre where people can just drop in and get the help and the support they need. And so there's so much that God has birthed in our hearts, but we couldn't do it in our existing building. So through the generosity of the church members, by selling the church manse, and applying to various Christian trusts and organisations, we've been able to get the money that we need to invest in the kingdom and build and extend so that we can better reach out and serve those around us.
Bill, it sounds like a really exciting journey. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what God is doing through the church at Ainon in the period ahead. Thanks for sharing.
My pleasure. Thank you.